an insurance advisor and also a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in July 2013.
Breast cancer is a cancerous lesion that arises in the breast. So a breast cancer survivor is a person who, after 5 years of the diagnosis of breast cancer, they're still alive.
The incidence of breast cancer among women in Jamaica is 1 in 22, which is high, but not as high as the worldwide figure, which is 1 in 8. The incidence of mortality from breast cancer in Jamaica is approximately 30 in every 100,000 women. Both figures are frightening.
There are many types of breast cancers. The commonest is the infiltrating ductal carcinoma.
In December 2006, that's when I was first diagnosed. I was diagnosed with inflammatory breast cancer, which is a very rare and aggressive type.
Most persons think of breast cancer manifesting itself as a lump. I didn't have a lump.
I felt a fullness in the breast, which is something that I normally feel close to my monthly period. However, the feeling continued even after.
I was very good. I did my mammograms every year from age 45. And between 2003 and 2004, they discovered tiny grains like sand in my right breast. I didn't take it seriously. I thought it was nothing. The lab thought that I should do a test, and they did, and they found it was cancer. So it was found early. Well, I suppose fortunately there was no lump, so there was really early stages, and we were able to catch it and remove the breast, and that was the end of that.
I cannot recall when I got the news how I felt. To tell you if I was shocked, I really don't know. What my main concern was how my son would take it.
I was diagnosed a second time last year, March. We started all the tests again. What we had to do was a biopsy. We removed 3 of the lymph nodes, and they all tested positive for cancer again.
Self-examination is important. Know your body. Be intimate with your body. That's how I found out about mine, by self-examination.
The treatment options are generally surgical and chemotherapy, radiotherapy.
Had I had known that there was a critical illness policy available 11 years ago, I certainly would have taken one out. Because the costs that you incur when you find yourself diagnosed with breast cancer are very, very high.
Persons have had their life savings wiped out just treating a critical illness. Basically for me, when I did my first treatment, I looked at, I think it was about 3.5 million in expenses. For the second time around, I looked at 5.5.
For my treatment, I did 6 months of chemotherapy and 6 weeks of radiation, a very costly exercise, cost me over 4 million.
Since the last time you have seen me, so much has happened. Last year, October, when you saw me, everything was going fine. And then December, I did a CT scan, and that showed that the tumor that I had removed before had come back.
Since we last met, my health has been good. No health issues at all. All the tests have come back negative.
Treatment the first time around, I had done chemotherapy first. Then we did surgery, then we did radiation, and then chemotherapy. This time around we did surgery first and then chemotherapy. Radiation was not an option at this time.
One of the misconception or assumption that women usually take is that the risk of being diagnosed with breast cancer is not possible because nobody in their family has ever been diagnosed. It is not true, because I've had clients who have been diagnosed and they're the first person in their family to be diagnosed with breast cancer.
Basically, when I first heard about the reemergence of the cancer, I was shocked. My concerns were basically for my family, and another thing, if I could afford the treatment. Because as you know, treating a critical illness is usually a long-term event, and it can be very exhausting physically, mentally, and financially. That's the basic reason why when you do like a critical illness coverage, it's best to have a very good coverage, because in the event that you have a reoccurrence, you need to be able to have that money to cover the full cost.
The truth is that most persons don't think of critical illness while you're well. And it's a case of, in hindsight is 20/20 vision. You said, had I known, I would have had a critical illness policy, which would have significantly reduced the cost.
What I would say to persons who are unsure of purchasing a critical illness policy is that it's better to plan than to be sorry. Why spend all your savings on treatment when you can lean on Sagicor? Get on board, Sagicor can take care of it for you.
So far, I think I've spent well over 13 million on treatment alone. And this is why it is very important to have a very good coverage for critical illness. So in the event that you have a reoccurrence, then you're able to cover everything. My main advice to persons going through the same thing is to remain positive. That is a very big part of your recovery. Speak to your doctors. Ask questions about what you're going through and what to expect. Speaking to your family and your children is very important. You know, you need to be on the same page because they're your main support. And just be happy and celebrate life.
So for women out there who think that it may never happen to them, you never know, you may be the one in 22.